Hey Democrats, it's Daniel from Team DPNM. For this month's episode of the Blue Opiñon, we're out here at Balloon Fiesta Park during Labor Day. Let's go see what some of our labor allies and elected officials are doing to celebrate.
This is the Labor Day picnic. We are celebrating all the workers that get together, work their butt off throughout the year, and now they get to come out and enjoy the day off.
Where all the local unions come together with their families and friends, and we celebrate labor unions.
No, we're having a great day. It's a beautiful Labor Day. We're out here with the carpenters, the firefighters. We got the teachers here. It's a great day. We brought our cornholes. We brought our big chair to get some great pictures in front of the Sandia Mountains, and we did a little food just to help give everybody a little bit of love. So, Labor Day is brought to you by Organized Labor. We brought you the weekend, the 40-hour work week at the end of child labor, everything you can think of a union has done. And for those who take it for granted, we want you to know that this day was given to you by labor.
We are out here celebrating all of the great accomplishments that labor has fought for throughout the years, actually throughout the centuries.
People fighting for our laborers who really built all of our communities up.
The people who labor for us every single day, and just celebrating their families and their accomplishments. Whenever we hit Labor Day every year, it's our day, all of us together, to honor all of the workers working day in and day out to make New Mexico run.
It's important for anyone to be involved with labor, because if we don't unionize and we don't organize, we're not going to get what we ask for. We're not going to get raises. We're not going to get better benefits. Employers don't just give these things without workers organizing.
Labor Day is because of the labor movement. People died for us to have the rights that we take for granted today.
We rest on the shoulders of people that went ahead to give their lives for a 40-hour work week, for the weekend, for simple things that we all take for granted.
The amount of organizations that collectively bargain on behalf of their membership is how we continue to strengthen the workforce.
They represent the workers of America, to make sure that the workers have a voice, that they're able to stand up and to basically hold on to their rights that they have.
We will partner in legislation, we'll partner on council initiatives, and how we do it for firefighters is we are very aggressive with management in both the city of Albuquerque and Bernalillo County to bargain for fair and equitable packages for our firefighters, and just any way we can with whether it be for other labor organizations, the police, corrections. There's lots of public safety ways in public safety we get involved. Just any way we can get involved to strengthen the workforce here in Albuquerque, we do it.
They are the heartbeat of the working voters and working people in this state. They can tell us when businesses aren't doing right by its workers, when they're mistreating workers. And they can do a lot to end inequality in this country and really lift the community up in ways that are so essential for us as elected officials and as Democrats. We have to hear from working people to understand the challenges that they're facing and come up with positive policies to help them every day.
Even as your state treasurer, there's a lot of things that we've been getting involved in to help with the labor efforts. So for example, we make sure that wherever we can help with people unionizing, we show how the economy is created and developed and can either be impacted in a positive way or a negative way because of those union efforts. So for example, right now, there's an issue where there might be a merger. Well, when there's mergers, if you don't have people unionizing and being able to formate or have a movement to be able to talk about wages and how much it costs, that impacts your property taxes, that impacts your homes and your streets and your schools, because if you don't have enough people in the workforce that are getting good wages, then that could negatively impact your community.
Workers are the bedrock of the Democratic Party. We are oftentimes, many of us registered Democrats, oftentimes all of us are knocking the doors, making the phone calls, we're giving the money, our members are voluntarily giving the money. So we are just interconnected as it is. Not only are we the bedrock, we're the backbone, we're the heartbeat. We all work together in tandem. When I was city councilor, I was able to sponsor the PLA agreement, and we got it through. And so now the city has to implement any contracts over $10 million have to go to labor. So that's a really good thing. And we also had that similar bill in Santa Fe, which I was involved with. And I'm excited to say that it's kind of a similar thing with the state. And I think that's really great because it keeps families and keeps jobs in New Mexico, which we desperately need.
Pro-labor candidates understand collective bargaining. They understand the value of collective bargaining. They understand the value of a negotiated agreement. They understand that unity brings us all together. The Albuquerque Teachers Federation currently is invested in the November 7th school board race, APS school board race. We are totally invested in that. We need candidates who will support our union, support our contract, support teachers, and support our students. So from now until November 7th, we will actively be working very hard in the Board of Education race.
On the state level, I'm thinking specifically union security agreements, the whole revision of the Public Employees Bargaining Act, the implementation of the sick leave law for private sector workers, lots of more stuff. But at the end of the day, it's great, but it's not enough. And we have much more work to do together on the state level, also on the local and the federal level as well.
I want people to remember that there are people out there that are working for them right now, specifically at public safety. We're 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. I think sometimes that gets forgotten, even though we're here able to celebrate Labor Day. There's lots of firefighters, including the truck that was here today. They're working 24 hours a day, and I want people to remember that there's always somebody working for them.
I think the most important thing is to remember working men and women who help build this country and deserve a decent wage and decent working conditions, and it's something we take very seriously in the AG's office. And the people that you see here and the folks that they represent, they matter a lot to us, and I want them to always remember that.
We always remember the women who came before us, our sisters in struggle, and so we're remembering everything that they did as well to make Labor Day a historic event, and for all of us to remember that Labor Day, without labor, we wouldn't have child labor laws, we wouldn't have Social Security, we wouldn't have weekends, we wouldn't have overtime, and I could go on, but there are so many protections that union workers before us have struggled for, and actually some have even died for, that we need to remember that, and we shouldn't take anything for granted.
I want them to appreciate the people that serve them every day. And if you're out eating in a restaurant or you're out doing something today with your family, be sure and double tip people because they're working hard to keep their families going as well.
All workers, grad workers included, non-union workers, and union workers should remember that we all need to support labor unions. When labor unions win a raise or they win healthcare, that sets the bar for all employers. So even if you're not in a union, you should support organized labor and see if you can join a union or start one of your own.
I think a lot of people don't realize why we have this day off, but it's really important to know that a lot of people fought for us to be able to have it.
I want people to remember that there are people out there that are working for them right now, specifically at public safety. We're 24 hours a day, 365 days a week. I think sometimes that gets forgotten, even though we're here able to celebrate Labor Day. There's lots of firefighters, including the truck that was here today. They're working 24 hours a day, and I want people to remember that there's always somebody working for them.
The hardworking individuals that work every day, that get the work done, that go out there and make sure that everything happens day after day. And that together as a union, we get to have one voice that unites us all, gets us to basically better wages, better working conditions, and really helps us all unify together, stand up for each other, and make everything right. I want the conditions to be better for my kids than what I've had. I'd like to see my grandkids to have better choices and better conditions than the working conditions that I had. We should all strive to make a better, safer working place. Last year we had 54 people die on the job, which is unacceptable. We need to make sure that we extend that and make it better, make it a safer place, and that everyone goes home safe.
What I want folks to remember is that as we go about our day every day, as we pull up to our favorite coffee shop, whether it's Starbucks or a local coffee shop, when we are having our air conditionings worked on, when we're having our heaters turned on, when we're having an electrical problem at home or at our office. I could go on and on. At the end of the day, it's the workers that are serving us as citizens, as everyday citizens, going about our day. They are doing all that stuff for us. And that's what we need to remember, is that there are all kinds of people doing all kinds of important stuff for us day in and day out. All of us take a moment to do our research about what Labor Day is, that all of us take a moment to honor all of the workers that are serving us day in and day out. Those are the two most important things that I would say to remember.
How hard everyone's working right now, the need for skilled and trained workforce, and the need to get apprenticeship back into our schools. A lot of good money coming to our state for infrastructure, federal dollars and state dollars. It's key that we get New Mexicans on these jobs and start training for the future.
A 40-hour work week, disability, Social Security, their income protected, a minimum wage, health care. All of these things are because people had to work for us to get these rights that we take for granted today. And so all of the people that are out here celebrating, or where they're in their backyard or whatever, celebrating Labor Day is because of labor unions.